Hello and welcome back to my channel where we talk about books and brands. This is Books and Brands with Hannah. Let's get into it. Today we are talking all about my August 2024 TBR, and there are so many books on this. I am going to talk about some that probably won't get read in August, but will get read in September. But let's get into it. First, we're gonna start off with, well, first we gotta drink some of this delicious iced coffee. You know, like the caramel at the bottom, always the best thing to add. What kind of coffee do you guys like? Are you like a chocolate, caramel, vanilla? What's your favorite like flavor add-in? I'm always curious about that because I'm a flavor girl through and through. Anyway, let's get into this. So the first one that I'm really excited for is Tia Leving's. She has A Well-Trained Wife coming out, and this is on August 6th. I honestly love her Instagram and have been following her for years now. And she does all these videos about what it's like to like escape the patriarchy and escape the Christian patriarchy specifically, and what it's like to be one of these women stuck in these religious cults. And I just love this quote that's on her Amazon. I'm gonna read it to you guys. So today it hit me when he hit me, blood shaking in my brain. Maybe there wasn't a savior coming. Maybe it was up to me to save me. I mean, that is just so moving, and I think this is gonna be a really moving memoir about survival from a religious cult, and I cannot wait to read this. I am all for religion if that's what you want for yourself, but religious cults are a totally different thing, and I am so excited to read about this strong woman who I've been following for years. And I'm gonna put her Instagram right here so you guys can check it out if you want to. So next off is Careful What You Wish For. This is by Emma Jackson, and I accidentally found this book when where was I? I was in England, in London, during the very beginning of the year, back in February, and I found this book at a bookstore called Witch You Weren't Here, and this is her first book. I don't know if she has any other books, but this one was so cute. It was like a travel romance between a warlock and a witch, and it was so much fun. They went to Amsterdam, they went to Prague, I think. It was all over the place, but it was like a second chance romance because they were friends as kids, and she was absolutely in love with him. What was her name? Kay is her name. She was absolutely in love with this guy named Harry when she was younger, and he was given kind of mixed signal. She is on the way to her brother's wedding, and her brother is getting married very soon, and he happens to be getting married back where she grew up, and Harry is also happens to be on the same flight as her that gets canceled. And when it gets canceled, a whole travel plot ensues, and it's just so much fun. Like, this was just a fun ride. It's a little slow to start, so just a pre-warning if you do decide to read this. And I think that this one also can only be purchased in the US on Kindle. It can't be purchased like physical copy like this. So that was my premise behind talking about this one, is that this Careful What You Wish For is only on Kindle, and I'm really excited for it. So it says, 2 witches, 1 life-changing spell. Be careful what you wish for. Becca Ashworth, Harry's sister. Becca Ashworth's family is in trouble, and with their magical legacy under threat, it puts their small village of Bicoastal at risk. So going against the witching tenets to summon an ancestor for help seems like the small price to pay to fix the problem at first. Connor Lynch is the Witches' Council's secret weapon, and he's just been deployed to find out exactly what the Ashworths are up to. But how he ends up posing as Becca's fake husband at a magical inn in Cornwall as they hunt down a magical artifact is just as perplexing as the cheerful witch herself. So this sounds like a little like adventure again, kind of like this one was. So I'm really excited for this. I will probably end up honestly reading this one in September, if not at the end of August, because I have a lot of stuff planned for August. You guys will see in a second here, but those are my 2 releases that I plan to read this month. Next off, I have a TBR char here, guys. True story. I've already chosen I've already chosen from my real TBR jar, but it's so full that it is so hard to choose from while recording. So I have a temporary one, and fun fact, this is my cast from a show that I directed, and that's them right there. And we are just going to grab out of here at random, and this says The Air He Breathes, and this is by Brittany Cherry here. I heard about this book from Shanice, I think is how you say her name. Guys, I'm so bad at names. Please forgive me if I'm saying your names wrong. She suggested this book. Basically, from what I get from like the back synopsis, is this guy's like a bad boy, essentially, and Elizabeth is the girl in this book. And I've heard this is a really touching book. It's also very heartfelt. So I'm excited for this. I love like more heartfelt romances. I think those can be a lot of fun to read, and they let us get to know like a different type of love almost. Like when we have romantic comedies, I feel like it's more a little bit of a surface level love, but it's more fun. So there's like a different vibe in each of the different types of romances in my opinion. So I'm really excited for this one. I will be reading that this month at some point. And let's see what else is in my TBR jar. Gonna work, yeah, the guest list. So the guest list right here, it's by Lucy Foley. I actually have never read a Lucy Foley book, but I've been recently getting into more thrillers, especially more adult thrillers, because I've always really loved YA thrillers, but I haven't really been into adult thrillers till now, and I just wanted to check this one out. An exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid. All have a secret, all have a motive, and only one is a murderer. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I have not read any books by her, so I will let you know if I'm a Lucy Foley fan or not after this one. Let's see what else is in this jar. So this one is Wildfire. I read Icebreaker. Honestly, had some mixed opinions about it. The Uber scene, just like no, like absolutely not with that Uber scene. Just absolutely not. But I liked a lot of it. I thought it was too long, which I'm a little concerned that I will also think about this one. However, that might not be true because it's, I think, a good like almost 50 pages shorter, this book, than that one was. And this one is set on at a summer camp, and it's about Aurora and Russ. Russ was in the first one. He helped Anastasia, I think was her name, do something in that book. I can't remember what he did, but I remember him being kind of like quiet and nicer. And I heard that this is like the quiet, charming dude in this book, and it's a new adult book. I don't read a lot of new adult, but I sometimes really like new adult because it has like the coming of age aspect I like a lot about YA. So then this I'm so excited for, The Inheritance Game. I don't know if you guys know about The Inheritance Games, but it's by Jennifer and Lynn Barnes, and I absolutely adored the Natural series. It is one of my favorite series ever, I think, at this point. I just really loved it, and I've heard this one is really, really great. It's all about this girl named Avery Grahams, who she one day just hears, hey, this dude named Tobias Hawthorne, he has left you his fortune, and she's like, who is this dude? I don't even know who this dude is. And essentially he says that she gets his fortune if she moves into his house, but it turns out this house has a lot of clues and puzzles and stuff in it, and she has to solve some of these puzzles. And meanwhile, his grandchildren are still living in this house, so that's another thing she has to contend with, is essentially like these grandchildren want his fortune as well. So we are gonna see what happens here. I have not read much about this book, so I'm kind of going in blind, but I know that Jennifer Lynn Barnes has some really fun ways of showing puzzles off. She's just a great YA author. Like, it moves so fast, her books. They all just move so fast, and I absolutely adore that about her books. Those are everything that I chose from my TBR jar. I also have a last summer video of the year planned for you guys, and all of these books are going to hopefully be consumed during that. I also have a few others on the list I don't want to spoil. We'll see if I get through all of these. This is kind of ambitious for a week. We will probably not get through all of these. So first off, there's Summer Romance. This book is essentially about what it sounds like, which is this girl, Allie, gets in a summer romance. She has kids, all this complicated stuff is going on in her life, and she meets this dude named Ethan, and they start dating, and it's a little bit of a summer romance. I know nothing else. We will find out. I've heard this is a really heartfelt one, which is why I put it on here, because I love heartfelt romances too. Then the next one I put on here was The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This one is like the most likely for me to just kind of put off, because I was on a really big Sarah Adams kick, and now I'm kind of moving into like more of a thriller, new kind of book era where I'm listening to just more different kinds of genres. So we will see if I actually read this one, but it's essentially a college second chance romance, and it's between Derek and Nora, and I guess she's his agent essentially, and he's an NFL player, and they end up kind of thrust together, forced proximity. We all know how that goes, and I'm assuming they fall in love. We'll see. And then there's The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. It's about Anna Green and a guy named Liam, and Anna is a starving artist while Liam is a Stanford professor, and essentially they got married in college because she needed it to stay in college, it sounded like. And now they're kind of being thrust together again because essentially he can only get his trust fund if he can prove he has a wife and prove that he's in a marriage. So we will see what this is like, but it sounds like it has a really fun location. I'm not sure where they go in this yet, but I just like the vibes. Like, the cover is so pretty, it's beautiful. The next one I have on the list for my final trip of the summer is Going Bicoastal. This is by Dahlia Adler. I've never read anything by this author either, but it sounds like a lot of fun. So essentially this girl has to choose if she's going to stay with her dad in New York City or go see her estranged mother in LA. And this is like her story of like what it would look like with both of those summer plans. So this sounds really fun. I love the premise. It's beautiful, like just beautiful. So we will see how this one goes. I also have some books on hold with Libby, so we will see if I get to any of those. I also am in the middle of Firefly Lane by Kristin Hannah here, and I'm loving it so far. It's like really the story of a friendship is essentially what it is. And it tells like their story over the years and like what their friendship looked like when they were young versus older. I'm only about 11% into it, so I haven't read much, and I had it out through Libby, but I actually just purchased it because I'm really wanting to have it physically. I just for some reason can't get into it not physically. So I've ordered it and I'm really excited to read that one. Another book I'm kind of in the middle of and hoping to finish this month is House of Hollow. This is by Krystal Sutherland. Honestly, I've been putting this off so hard. Like, this one is just, I don't know, it's horror, and I don't read a lot of horror, but I liked the premise, so I purchased it, and I'm having a hard time like staying concentrated on it, and I'm also having a hard time like not being grossed out sometimes. And it's not even like one of those that's super gross because it's still like a YA horror, not like a adult horror. So it's like not overly disgusting, but I do feel like anything with horror kind of grosses me out sometimes. So I haven't really been super into this one yet. We will see if I can get into it and finish it. But I am literally, let's see, I think I'm 100 pages from the end. So I'm on page 205, and this is only 292 pages. So I should be able to finish this in like a day, like after work. So that's right there. That's my TBR for the month. Oh my goodness. How do you guys do this? So that right there, that is my TBR for the month, and I'm looking forward to all of these. And I will see you guys during the month for a few little fun videos throughout. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching. Oh, subscribe, like if you can. I would love that. I so appreciate you being here. And if you watch this far, please tell me, what are you reading in August? I want to know. I also would always appreciate any suggestions for books because I'm just learning my taste. See you later. Bye.